So this is a community for people that enjoy creating maps, both grounded in history and the grand realms of fantasy. First up, we have a strategy to randomly generate mountains. Okay. Hey, that works, I think. Those look realistic, at least to me. This reminds me of when I was a kid and my walls were like made of stucco. I would just look at the designs and imagine like continents and islands and battles going on, and that is probably why I'm so freaking weird. That was the beginning. I should have seen this coming. Thinking about it right now, this is probably a really nice fantasy map. A reminder, it's not only acceptable to name places silly things, it's unrealistic not to. Slap bottom. Damn, I'm trying to go there. Whoa, cool it there. I don't even know what could possibly be their reasoning for this. I don't think all these city names are still around. A lot of them have changed, but you'd be surprised at how many you can still find today. European castles over time. Here's like a good way to imagine it. So just start off with like a gate and one like watchtower thing. Then it looks like you can upgrade that watchtower to a fortress, a keep maybe. You surround the fence with it. Oh, there is still a gate, I see. Then you build these thick cement walls. Is this how they did it on Attack on Titan? Oh, there's a little date that goes by. By 1215, this might have been the normal looking European castle. Gets upgraded even more with more towers, and it just gets bigger and better. This is when they put all the peasants on the outside, right? I always wonder, like, when you just have like sticks and a shield and maybe a sword, how exactly do you get through a castle? Castles must have been really hard to take. Plus, who wants to like bust open the walls with a catapult or something? I don't want to ruin this beautiful design. What I actually do when students don't show up to my office hours. D&D cartography between lectures. I've only played D&D a couple times, but I'm kind of afraid of it. I know if I dive too deep, this would be me. It would totally consume my life. The ocean of Earth as a giant lake. This is one way to look at it, and a completely weird thing to think about, but I guess you shouldn't feel too weird if you design some sort of planet-like area where all the continents are surrounding the water, because that's one way to look at our Earth. Tattooing around the lines of someone with vitiligo apparently creates some cool maps. That is actually really awesome. Dang it, now I'm gonna be looking at this person's arm like I was looking at my wall when I was a kid. Crazy archipelago right here. I have problems. Here, once again, to Stannyland, the land of stands. Still want this. Here's a fictional city map of the Aztec capital, where they found that eagle eating a snake on top of a cactus. Bam, so right here in the middle of the lake. This is so detailed. I wonder if they actually had this many like access points. Oh, there it is. There's the drawing and everything. Somewhere in the middle would probably be where the temples are and stuff like that. This is really beautifully done. It's almost giving me like Middle Earth vibes. Here's another one, except this has been 3 years in the making. Wow. Wow. Now imagine just how long this would take to color. I hope he's not planning on coloring it. This is so much dedication. Everything is labeled. It's not like there's just like random forests or mountain ranges. There's different coastlines and things like that. Are there actual people living in this, or is he just planning out the geography of it all? I think there are. This is incredible. Where do you even start to begin to do something like this? I would give up in 3 hours, let alone 3 years. Here's an artist rendition called Winter Sleep. It looks so photorealistic. Are you telling me this is not real? Because it really looks like we could probably find some mountains somewhere that looks like this. Oh, here's an easier way, I think, to understand biomes. So down here we have the tropical regions, tropical forests, but as dryness increases, it just becomes a desert, of course. The more wet it is, the more things will grow. Temperate regions, still, water makes things green, and the less you make of water, it's gonna just get more deserty. What is that back there? I haven't heard that before. Let's not forget about this increasing temperature. So every level we go up, it gets a little bit colder. So this is subarctic regions, but like Canada, Norway, Scandinavia. Up here is just tundra. Would you describe tundra as dry or wet? I don't know. Squidward would be proud. The perfect circle. I guess Squidward would be proud or jealous. I don't know. It makes sense that we would put like the most important things in the center, but what if like they just, I don't know, put it right next to the gate? That way if like there were travelers coming by, they don't have to travel all the way through the city to get in there to talk to the king. I can see why that'd be a horrible idea though. This is really cool because there's actually like the frame of it is even more detailed than the map itself almost. This is like a whole nother element. Like map making is not just about the map itself. Gotta make sure the outside looks cool too. 20 ways of drawing a forest. I like this, just packed in circle trees spread out. This looks like a very snowy region. Wide trees packed in together. That just looks like a insect centipede or something. Some of these drawings feel like more Disney than others. I'm trying to figure out which ones would they be. 12 reminds me of like a Christmas movie, obviously. Those look like some Christmas type trees. Oh, here's like a top-down view. Tropical, I like the tropical ones. And then we got like some fall looking ones. Time-lapse on how I draw mountains in D&D. Oh, so there's different, I see, we had a thicker one. Ballpoint pen. It's crazy how often I just don't use pens or pencils anymore. After school, you just don't really use that stuff anymore. This feels very Bob Ross to me. I've watched way too much Bob Ross. That's pretty cool. You can see them like rising above the clouds. I'd love to see like a snowy version of this. How to draw a ship. Okay, we've got a little U shape. Oh, I forgot, like you gotta use like faded lines. That was always my problem with drawing. I never did that faded line thing. Mask plus indicate some planks. Bam, there it goes. Oh, this already looks beautiful. At number 6, I'd be like, that's incredible. You're a genius. But then it just keeps going down. Look at that. Extra little details, shadows plus seagulls. That's only one version of it. Bonus rigging. Not sure what that is, but wow. That might take 3 hours, but honestly, it is completely worth it. People are getting creative. Behold the rice islands. You can just throw rice on a piece of paper and draw borders like that. You actually do that with my stucco method in the very beginning too. I've done that, trust me. Just slap the paper on the wall and then just like fill it in with a marker. Simple mountain tutorial. Hey, that's also a great pyramid tutorial too. I like the pyramid tutorial. That'd be like a 3-second video. I'm always so amazed at just like the little additions cause the biggest difference. I created a complete guide for creating a fantasy map in GIMP. This guy knows what he's doing. It looks like it's like all templated out. That looks like China and Japan right there. It seems like the easiest thing to do is just like take a reference from something that is in real life and then just blow it up, make everything bigger. I'm now just realizing that people throw dice in order to choose, I don't know, the wetness, dryness of a region, if there's mountains at all, rivers. Oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense. 10-hour fantasy map tutorial. These videos are crazy. I didn't even know this world existed. Like this world of designing maps for the course of your whole life. Is it just D&D? Is that the major reason why people are doing this? I use Coco as inspiration help. You can use anything. I swear you can use anything. As my lenses get damaged, they made a map. So wait. I actually thought this person was so hardcore into map making. They were like, I'm gonna draw my design on the glasses. That's living by your art right there. Gotta see that shit every day. Is this real though? How could it possibly, is this water damage? Or is it like the outside layer kind of peeling off? That's probably gotta be it. This is really thick, dark. I'm just confused how that happened. This is caused by the manufacturer using a cheap film instead of a metallic coating. I animated my latest map to show the rise and fall of cultures in my fictional world. I like that. Just cultures. We're not looking at civilizations. So he started here, and obviously they're going to be different as they rise in different islands, different parts of the continent. Are these mountains? We got like a mountain type people here. Like it started red and then red, but over time it would have been cool if like the red slowly switched colors from like a red to a light red to like orangish, yellowish. They'd be slowly developing their own. A map of a city entrance to a volcano forge. That'd be very, wow. Seems like the ultimate defensive spot unless that volcano explodes, or maybe they're lava people, they drink the lava. Types of river sheds, use this as a guide. This is general drainage patterns found in California. I think this is the most common, right? I've seen this before. The parallel design. I didn't even realize there were different drainage patterns. Distributary. I'm guessing this all is dictated by the like location, the geography, the way the water is coming from, the direction it's going. Found this table on the side of the road. Now it's a map. I actually thought that they like gave away this beautiful table. I would be disgusted if someone gave this away, but I realize now that someone made it. That's really cool. It'd be awesome if it spun too. You could probably design it to spin. Pixelated map icons. Nintendo's gonna love this. They're gonna use this design for Mario 69. I work in a call center and it can often be stressful. Making maps is my therapy. Call centers suck. This is actually very therapeutic. I remember I got caught making maps in my college math class. It was extremely embarrassing because I tried to play it off like I wasn't making a map. It looked bad enough where like I thought I could get away with it. I didn't though. Different sand tones found in the Sahara Desert. This is obviously very surprising because I feel like the Sahara is only represented with like these colors, maybe that orange, these orangish ones on the ends. What part of the Sahara is just like black though? Look how dark it gets. Where is that at? Doesn't it get more orange-ish as you approach like Morocco? This feels more like Egypt to me. You know what? The more like darker colors might be closer to like the sub-Saharan part, as it reaches like the Ivory Coast. Also the white, where does the white come from? A caravan of several merchants stand in front of a fortified gate, the city ready to pay the toll. I love the top down, the direct top down. This looks like I'm gonna play like an artistic indie game. Oh, it's got animation too. This is really beautiful animation. I was gonna say like, are the trees moving? There should be like the trees are moving just kind of slowly. Working on my process for ocean ridges. Small detail, but it adds so much. I'm trying to think like why you would need ocean ridges though, unless, I don't know, they were trying to drill for oil. I still like ocean ridges. I've seen a Japan version of this, but this is a South African version. Drawing South Africa with 5 lines, with 10 lines, with 20 lines. Yeah, you kind of have to forget about this city-state. With 50 lines, with 100 lines, and 200 lines. Is this done with a computer? I hope someone doesn't actually draw this. Lego map of Europe! I love how Denmark is the center here. Denmark is definitely the center of the world when it's a Lego map. Eastern mountain range scene wallpaper format. This looks like miniatures. I love that. This is a custom coastline paintbrush. So as you draw, it's just gonna design different. Oh, look, I see Australia kind of. Does it just spin like that automatically? It seems like there's a lot more software out there that I'm realizing that helps build this stuff. Time-lapse of floating islands in Norway. Floating islands sounds like the most fantastical thing. I would never believe this if I wasn't shown it. How is this happening? So I'm guessing that's just like uprooted grass. So things are still able to grow, or I don't even know. I shouldn't even try to explain this. Can you build a house on that? I don't know if I'd feel comfortable stepping on it, but it'd be kind of cool. Foundation, not super stable though. I knew this thing was gonna pop up here. This is like the first video I thought of. 3D reactive topography map using sand. That was the other thing I was gonna say. Like, sand seems like the best thing to like use to make mountains. The city of Dristos lies on the other side of this forest, and I tried this forest, evil area. What a map! Those He-Man creators really put a lot of detail into this. Great Waste, Emerald City. Hey, they added some little extra things. Bad Mountains. It gets the job done. An interactive map. You can zoom in, show the different distances, right? Oh man, 200 miles, 300 miles. Little tooltip, description, the population. Dang, there's only 1,000 people living up here. Generic rural village. This just looks easy to burn. Is that the barbarian inside of my head coming out? Why is that the only thing I'm thinking of? Maybe they didn't use the word generic. I think generic makes you just, yeah, we can just get rid of this. Made a texture map using clay and acrylic paint. I was told to put it here. I love that they actually got like the mountain ranges and everything right. That's the real hard part. Updated Minecraft world map. I really need to dive deeper into Minecraft. I know there's like some crazy earth maps everywhere. This feels like a new Pokemon game. Each color represents different like trainers. You gotta go outside the city to catch them though. This just looks like mold growing or veins or something. It's actually making me uncomfortable. There's gotta be a fear for this. There's a fear for everything now. Mycophobia or misophobia. We've seen big maps, yes, but what about tiny maps? This is about like a ½ inch. How do you put so much detail into just a ½ inch like this? Was this made with a microscope or something? Ozymandias, the battlefield map. That'd be an awesome battlefield to have it in. Here's an artistic rendition of the Eiffel Tower area. I never knew what was like around here. Like all the pictures get taken from here. So I never knew like where exactly the Eiffel Tower was. Like, was it just in the middle of skyscrapers? I guess it makes sense it would just be a big open park. Coloring this stuff is just a whole nother level. When you actually have to color it, I mean, you have to design it, do the biomes, do the cities, then like paint it. It's watercolors and ink apparently that was used. 50 states of 50 US borders. So this is just showing us what states touch each state. It's not showing us like land masses or percentages or anything like that. So California touches Arizona, Nevada, and Oregon. But to be able to like put this all in like a perfect circumference, like that is what's crazy. And obviously it's really wild when you get more East Coast. Illinois, which touches a lot of states. Actually, wait, not necessarily. Thinking about it, like the design of this has got to be so difficult. Where's Kentucky and Tennessee? Oh yeah, here we go. Look at Tennessee just touching all these states. Get out of my swamp. We don't have enough about swamps. I've been waiting for swamps. Lines and squigglies. Lines and squigglies. That seems simple enough. Things for frogs to hop on. Small passages through the swamps, of course. Where's Shrek's house though? Oh, this is not a progression. This is just showing us the different types of swamp map making. I don't know if you should be in there, lady. That seems very unhealthy. Yeah, just seeing stuff like this makes me feel like less of a weirdo. Like it would be nice if I discovered this as a kid, because I always thought like I was a freak. Like just that I had the desire to do things like this or just look at stuff like this. Added civilization placing to my free procedural world map generator. So they just kind of colonize automatically compared to where they start. Makes sense to me. Now we need to get some battles going on. City of Anarchy. This is a walled city located... Oh, wait. This is real, right? Yep. This was a remarkable high-rise squatter camp that by the 1980s had 50,000 residents. A historical accident of colonial Hong Kong. It existed in a lawless vacuum until it became an embarrassment for Britain. Is this what it actually looked like, or is this a design of what it possibly looked like? Just tons of people stacked in together like this. Population density. Like it's destroying Hong Kong by today's standards. There was almost 2 million people per square kilometer. How did they even manage to do that? It's actually kind of amazing. Disgusting, but amazing. Weren't there a bunch of movies like influenced by this whole thing? Blade Runner or something? Yeah, so it was only like 26 meters. Is that meters? And 213 long. And this is just showing us one of them. Did they just rip this whole thing down? We're like, no, this is not savable. It's just so crazy to think about. Like this does not look fun at all. Oh my god, it looks straight out of a scene from a movie. This is the city in 1993. You think they had like any regulations to building? Probably not, huh? It's called the Walled City, a playground at the edge of the city. Everyone can watch you. That's kind of freaky. This is a former Japanese arcade in here. It honestly looks like it would be designed intentionally that way. It looks like a studio setup or something. Planes needed to turn 45 degrees to land. Buildings were no more than 14 floors high to avoid collisions. Oh, sometimes the rooftops was used as playgrounds. That's nice. Only $35 for monthly room to rent. I'm moving in. And big thanks to the January patrons: BallinLikeStalin, AryanAfterHours, Teaser123, Elijah Senpai, EpiNick, FusionWolf, Julius Cheeser, LennonLover419, LuxembourgLover, Mac, Manny74, Space Period, Patrick C, Pelovski, RalseiTree, Stormtrooper501, and ClBlr. Thank you. Link to the Patreon is in the description down below.